And welcome to the Bible Christian God, Brother Greg, Lord. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. And welcome everyone to this, the Bible Christian God. We'd like to welcome those who joined us for the first time. Those of you seeking to be born again now by the word of God. Those of you that are translated into the kingdom of his dear son. We are here in Mr. Black History Month. Last week, when our Black History series, last week we dealt with color and equivocally showing you that the children of Israel are indeed black folks. This is what we dealt with last week. This one is up. This is the island of the Egyptian pyramid. And we have moved on now to the conditions of these people that the Bible talks about. Black people. This is Israel, the Black History series. And what we're going to get into today is the conditions. Our promo said from slavery to the 13th Amendment. From slavery to the 13th Amendment. Now the 13th Amendment is an amendment that was to ban slavery in the United States. However, it also states, if you read the 13th Amendment, because someone please pull that up on their phone, the 13th Amendment. I just want that read. Yeah, the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment. Because it's important that we actually read what it says, because it is an amendment that banned slavery. But guess what it says? In the event that you commit a crime, you will once again back in slavery. Can you got that? You got that? You pull it. Yeah, we're gonna pull that up, because the condition that the 13th Amendment addresses is one of many that we're going to address here. We're going to address the prison house issue. We're going to deal with the criminal justice system issue. And here, if you look at this, this is so prevalent. I'm always, whenever I meet someone new, a brother or sister, when I talk about Israel or that they're Hebrew or what have you, I always say, guess what? I know I just met you, my brother or sister, but guess what? I don't even need to know your name, but I know because you look like me, one of three things is true about you, and I don't even need to know your name. You either know somebody black in prison, somebody just got out of prison, on the way to prison, or between us, so one of us been in jail. One of the four conditions exist, y'all, okay? And it's very rare that a black person has not been accosted by the criminal justice system. Even my wife, when we was in Maryland, for a little simple light, I think she didn't have a light on at night. There were 5 police cars pulled up on her. 5. And she's a short. There's nothing physically threatening about my wife. But she had 5 police squad cars. 5. So we're going to get into why us. We're going to get into why the people of the Bible, the people of color of the Bible, are under the conditions that they are and why they are so prevalent to this day. So let's read about this 13th Amendment right quick. What's the 13th Amendment? Go ahead.
Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States.
So it bans slavery, but go ahead.
Or any place subject to their jurisdiction. That's all.
Okay. But that's if you don't commit a crime. And we're going to find out. And I always like to drop it dead square in the middle of everyone's living room by starting out with Isaiah 42 and 20. Isaiah 42 and 20. We got a lot of churches in our neighborhood. We're going to address a lot of conditions, y'all, that the Bible talks about. But we're going to go right in most of our people's neighborhood, living rooms. Most of our people's dwellings. Most of us, we either know somebody that look like us on the way to jail or just got out of jail. This condition thing is serious. And this is something we're talking about today. We're not going back into it way back just yet. But we're going to find out the source of why it is like it is today. See? Why us? Man, why the white man always coming down on me? Why we can't get ahead? Why, we always whining and complaining and whining about what they doing to us. Or how we last, how they first, how they got the advantage. All of this is set in play way back from the wilderness to our forefathers. Okay? So we taking it now, we're going right to today. We're going to drop this in your living room first. So if you got anyone that's naysayer talking about, oh, that ain't talking about us. Well, watch this. Isaiah 42 and 20. Actually 19. Start at verse 18. Look what the Lord said to the children of Israel. Read.
Excuse me. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see.
Now, why would the Lord tell somebody that's deaf to hear and somebody that's blind to see? Because he's not talking about the physical deaf or the physical blind. He's talking about a people that is spiritually blind and spiritually deaf. They're not hearing. They're seeing a lot of stuff, but they don't see nothing. They hear a lot of stuff, but they're not hearing what's really going on. That's what the Lord is addressing. Because watch what he said. Go ahead, verse 19.
Verse 19. Who was blind, but my servant, or deaf, as my messenger that I sent, who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant.
See, that's why those of us that have woken up, we understand who the messengers of God are. We understand who the messengers of God are. Because he said, who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect? Because we think we're perfect, y'all. That's why we don't want to see nothing, know nothing. We done got complacent and happy with what we got and don't want to hear nothing else. Therefore, we have fulfilled the definition in its entirety of calling ourselves, or what perfect means. We don't think we need anything else. That's another form of meaning perfect. We don't need to see our preacher don't need to teach nothing else. You don't need to say nothing else. We don't need, that means you're perfect. That means can't nobody add nothing to you. But watch what the Lord said. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. Verse 21. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
So the book said the Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law. Magnify. But what are our churches doing, y'all? They're diminishing the law, not magnifying the law. When you go and examine it and you look at it, you greatly and talk about it. But he said he come to magnify the law because it contains his righteousness. That's why he said he will magnify the law and make it honorable. But the day after today, you go to all the churches that's opening the day tomorrow. They don't magnify the law. Matter of fact, they have you think it's dishonorable thing to keep the law. But watch what the Lord is talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Now, this book said, this is a people robbed and spoiled. Now, we just got through going into our Black History seminar, little discussion. This is what we're doing every week this month. And we were talking about some of the black inventions that we created. But guess what? The Gentile turned around, threw his name on it, and he running off with all the money, and we're sitting back. Wondering, wait a minute, we made that. One classic example of a people being robbed is the sister named
Henrietta Lack.
Huh?
Henrietta Lack.
Henrietta
Lack.
Lack. Henrietta Lack. This is a lady whose blood to make a long story short, is responsible for a lot of cures that exist in society today concerning cancer or concerning, leukemia and all of that, because of her blood cells. Now, make a long story short, this is Black History Month. Go look at that movie, and you will find out that she was responsible, her blood is responsible, but her descendants, the people that are related to her, can't get a nickel because they were robbed. And spoiled means damaged. We some damaged people. We so damaged, we don't even want to be around each other, y'all. And then when we do get around each other, we do damage to each other way quicker than we do anybody else. So, robbed and spoiled, those are some classic examples. Many of black Avengers. I remember hearing this guy say, you know what? The only thing the Gentile really owns is the patent that they do on all the events. That's all they really own. Because everything else we came up with, but we were robbed and we are damaged, which is spoiled. But look what else is about us. Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Now wait a minute, y'all. We're gonna get into this thing right here because that 13th Amendment, we don't went from slavery to prison houses. Now I'm gonna bring this up front. I want you to take a good scan of this. The black part represent us in prison houses, y'all, in jail. This thing is serious, y'all. Now, I just want to point out some of this, y'all. The book said this people's hidden away in prison houses. Black men, 1 in 3 of us, 1 in 3, either had some jail problems, know somebody in jail, know somebody finna get out of jail, or know somebody on the way to jail. Look at everybody else, y'all. The closest one is Latinos, y'all. Maybe 1 in 6 of them. But at least they got a country, y'all. They know where they come from. They can run back to Mexico or Spain. Us, where we go? We're going to read about why we don't know where we are going as a people. Well, 1 in 3, y'all. Then right here, look at this right here. The illicit drug sale is done by amongst the Gentiles, but how many are doing time for selling drugs? The dark part represents illicit use, illicit drug use, but the dark part, the red part or maroon part represents those that are in prison for that. That's for the Gentile. Look at us. It's a reverse. We don't make the drugs, but we the ones that going in jail most likely for. Look at that. That is a stark difference, y'all. Stark. Hid away in prison house. Now look, the United States is the world's worst prison state. And they call this the land of the free, the home of the brave. They need to take that free part out of there. Let's say, in the home of the brave. That's all they need to say, y'all, because that's ridiculous. The United States surpasses all other countries, y'all, as the highest incarceration rate on the planet. We higher than Russia, South Africa, Mexico, Brazil, China. We house, this come out of, I got some more sources I want to get to on this, because this is a very serious problem, y'all, in America. And we at the brunt of it. We are at the brunt of it, y'all. Let me read this. This source is by Sophia concerning the criminal justice, Sophia Colby. This is as of March 13th. This is from 2012. The top 10 most startling facts about people of color and the criminal justice system in the United States. Number 1, while people of color may make up only 30% of the United States population, they account for 60% of those imprisoned. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 1 in 3 black men can expect to go to prison in a lifetime. 1 in 3, y'all, or even end up in jail. One to three of us, y'all. And the sound of my voice, black men. One of us been in there, y'all. One of us. Students of color face harsher punishments in school than their white peers, leading to a higher number of youth of colors incarcerated. Now, brother just sent me this last night. I'm like, are you serious, bro? I'm finna hit y'all with something right now. Right now. Right now, y'all. I was like, are you serious, man? Listen to this, y'all. I was like, dude, I'm gonna use this here. Okay, there's a guy named Mick Entry in Texas. I'm gonna put his first name out there. His age is 17. State, Texas. His crime, 2 capital murders, 1 aggravated robbery, facing the death penalty. Is he? Yes. Eligible for parole? Is he? No. Gentile? That's a European. Demetrios, I can't even pronounce his last name. Age 17, exact same age. State, Texas. Crime, 10 capital murders, 13 attempted murders. Facing the death penalty? No. Eligible for parole? Yes. Like, dude, is that book or what? Is that book or what, y'all? Are we just warming up? We is just warming up, y'all. Number 4, according to recent data by the Department of Education, and by the way, that what I just got, that's current, that's right now, in Texas, right now. What's the date of today, y'all? We just opened up 2020, right? February, right? Black History Month 2020. This is real living stuff now. Now this here, right here, according to recent data by the Department of Education, I hate that word African American. Anyway, but that's what they want to call us, and we're going to read why they do that. Students are arrested far more often than their white classmates. The data showed that 96,000 students were arrested and 242,000 referred to law enforcement schools. Now this is during 2009 to 2010 school year. Y'all think that's changed? It done dipped a little bit, but we still way out front. Way out front. Let me go to this next statistic, number 5. African American youth have a higher rate of juvenile incarceration rates and are more likely to be sentenced to prison as adults. That's how we just read what we read, y'all. Number 6, as the number of women incarceration rates has increased by 800% over the last 3 decades, women of color have been disproportionately represented. The war on drugs has waged primarily in the communities of color, where people of color are more likely to receive a higher rates of offenses. According to the Human Rights Watch, people of color are no more likely to use or sell drugs than whites. We know that. They do it just like we do it. But we see the statistics. It's ridiculous, y'all. Number 8. Once a convicted black offender receives longer sentences compared to white offenders, black offenders receive a longer sentence compared to white offenders. I just got to reading that, and we're talking about in February 2020, y'all. Number 9, voter laws that prohibit people with felonies convictions. There are voter laws that prohibit people with felony convictions to vote disproportionately impacts men of color. Look, y'all, if this is ridiculous, that means our voter power is real low, because where we at? We in jail or prison. Number 10, students have shown that the people of color face disparities in wages trajectory following release from prison. In other words, after you come out of jail, even if you've been in there 6 months, 7 months, trying to get a job, trying to make wages, it is crushing, y'all. So what you think your brother gonna do if he can't provide for his family, y'all? What you think he gonna do? The man gotta eat. So he gonna turn right back around and continue to do the very things that he had done before. Now, what I want to do is finish this script. Let's keep going. Watch this. These are the people robbed and spoiled. They're all of them snaring holes in their head in prison houses. That's book. Now I want you to ask yourself this. Being as it is a major problem in the black community, why isn't the Sunday churches coming to the scriptures to address this? Because it's right there.
Amen.
Because they're robbing us of our knowledge of who we are. You throw your money in that plate for all them years, and your son sitting up in jail for 10 years, and the book don't address, and we just read plain scripture, y'all. That's another reason why we are robbed and spoiled. Because they're not coming here to show you what we read right out of this book. The condition of God's people are brazen in this book, brazen. And I'm just talking about jail, you know, prison, in the criminal justice problem. I'll never forget, I had to go stand up for a brother in court in Maryland. And when I went up in there and looked at how many of us was in, even just hanging out in the halls, and then when we went into, I went in the courtroom as a character witness for the brother, I'm like, I mean, I read this book, but when you go in, and you see like, wait a minute, they would ask you how you think that's all black people do is go hang out in a criminal justice system halls. We going to jail for, or we being brought before the judge for one thing or another. And I mean, we was all lounging, not lounging, but just standing in the hall. You know, half of them trembling. I know some ain't been in there for murder, worried about they going to jail. But when I went in that courtroom and I stood up for this brother, and I'm looking around, I'm like, man, you would think this is a black thing. Why? Because of what we just read. They're here in prison houses. They are for prey and none delivered. Go ahead.
For a spoil and none saved restored.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
Wait a minute, who will hearken and hear for the time to come? We are living in these days, y'all. This is the time. This time is happening to what's the name of the people that it's happening to? Go ahead.
Verse 24, who gave Jacob for a spoil.
Oh, we're talking about Jacob? Go ahead.
And Israel to the robbers.
AKA Israel? Oh, so that's what we talking. This is Israel, y'all. He said that to these people right here. This is Israel. Here they were in prison houses. Come on, y'all. We in these times. I always do that to a brother and sister. They be like, man, I ain't never heard a brother and sister say, no, you wrong, bro. That ain't me. And not one time. I mean, I would figure I get one rejection, and I've been doing this for a little while, y'all. I not had one brother or sister say, I don't know nobody look like me in jail. So what that mean? We are Israel. This talking about Israel. Them jail houses, that number right there, that's Israel. He ain't away in prison houses. And he said, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the who?
Did not the Lord.
See, the Lord did this. Why is the Lord? See, we get to the question, why us? Why are we in the prison houses like this, y'all? Because the Lord put us there. It said, did not the Lord? Go ahead. He, what?
He against whom we have sinned.
We answer some questions today, y'all. Why us? Because the Lord put it, because we sinned against the Lord our God. Go ahead.
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
Look, he said, because we would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient to his law. I tell you again and again, pick a Sunday church. And we got a lot of them. We got gaggles and gaggles. And you know when you get in the black neighborhood, we all know this, y'all. I ain't telling nothing. Y'all know nothing new. When you in our neighborhood, brothers and sisters, you know church, liquor store, church, liquor store. Why is it like this? Hold this spot and let's go to Romans 10 chapter. Romans 10 and 1. We bring in the real. I ain't telling nothing that you don't know, but the only difference is, how come the preachers ain't bringing it out the Bible, y'all? Especially on Sundays. Especially. Knowing you got a lot of parishioners with their sons and daughters, cousins, uncles, brothers and sisters, being wrongfully persecuted. Some of them, rightfully deserve to be there, but nevertheless, we have a criminal justice system problem. They even had a study come out about the Ferguson case where the hands up, old boy got shot, bang. Sister just posted the other day, cops was beating this guy unarmed brother, on the ground like he was, I mean, dude, y'all already got a haircut. Why y'all keep hitting him in the face? Then they had another Facebook video. They had guns drawn on an unarmed black man. Oh, we could go on and on with that, y'all, but this is what the book say is us. Romans 10th chapter and verse 1, and this is what's going on, y'all. Look what Paul said. Romans 10 and 1. Read.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
Yes, sir.
Verse 2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
See, look, y'all, we got so much zeal. I actually had to go and pull up this information, y'all. And I need to zoom in on the camera. All of this, now, I know you may not be able to see the exact thing, but here's what I want to point out. The highest black part, the little high black part, that's talking about us. Everything on this list that I'm finna read off is talking about us. Okay? Don't get ready. Listen to this. We have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. It says the importance of religion in one's life by race and ethnicity. Now, the nearest one to us is 59%, and that's the Latino. But guess what? We are at a 75% of us that are black believe in that religion is important in our life. 75%. Moving along. Attendance at religious service. The nearest one is 39%. That's Latino. We got a whopping almost 50% of us believe that you ought to attend religious services, y'all. We in the lead, y'all. Frequency of prayer. Listen to this. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. The nearest one to us is the closest one is 58% Latinos believe in a lot of prayer. Us, we had an 83%, y'all. 83% of us black folks believe in prayer. Okay? The frequency of participation in prayers, scripture study, or religious education group by race. Now this come out of, this is a black, Asian, and those another sample. This sample was done by, let me see, my source here is the Pews. Hold on, let me get it. Now let me finish on that because I got the bottom. The frequency of participation in prayer, scriptural study, and religious study groups by race. The closest one to us is, again, Latino at 27%. But for blacks, it's just under 40%. Okay? Just under 40% of us believe you ought to participate in prayer. Okay? Moving right on to the next one. Scripture, frequency of reading scripture. Blacks, we way out front. 54% of us believe you got to read book. Not more need to do that. Anyway, the next one is like a 35%, y'all. Okay. This is the zeal for God. We have the zeal for God, y'all. They actually was able to measure this stuff, y'all. Beliefs in, no, I don't want to do that right there. But yeah, I had this thing on our website, y'all, with the source and everything, y'all, so we can track that. But he said we have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
Wait a minute, didn't the Lord say he's going to magnify the law for his righteousness' sake and make it honorable? But the book says they being ignorant of God's righteousness, so where do we get God's righteousness from? The law. But how many times have you been told over and over and over in all the popular churches, oh, that law, man, you ain't man over that law. Therefore, they are being ignorant of God's righteousness. That's why he said, we have sinned against the Lord and have not been obedient to his ways. Therefore, being ignorant of God's righteousness, go ahead.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
Oh, no wonder we can have 4 churches. I never forget in Las Vegas. Brother Dre, man, look, he blew me away with that. We actually went down a block on D, I think it was D Street. And they actually had, I kid you not, because I told them, man, you got to show me this. Every house on the block was a church. I was like, dude, are you serious? I have never seen, I was like, everybody's house was a church. Everybody's house on this block was a church. I'm like, dude, I ain't never seen this. How come we can't all come together on this book? Because everybody, he said, but they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, and that's exactly what goes on in our neighborhood. That's why we are in prison houses like we are. Therefore, go ahead. And have not what?
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
And we read that's the law, that he came to magnify y'all, not destroy. So let's go back. Go back to Isaiah 42 and 25. This condition is horrendous in our neighborhood. Major. This ain't no minor topic, y'all, talking about blacks in the criminal justice system. Every last one of us, I do mean every last one of us, all of us, I'm in the mirror too, have been affected by this. Got a testimony. And we open up we said, look, we open up our question and answer for a testimony for every one of us that's been dealt with the criminal justice system one way or another. Testimony, child, please. It'll be clogged up and break down. They like, man, I can't get in the room. I know. We got about 1,000 testimonies going on and on and on. But look, this is what the Lord done did because we would not be to his law, which gives us his righteousness. It's the Lord's law. Everybody like to say Mosaic law, but who gave Moses a law? Did anybody asking that question? Because it's a problem that our people have with the law. Therefore, verse 25, go ahead.
Verse 25, therefore he had poured upon him the fear of his anger, and the strength of the battle.
Hey y'all, it's a war in the street, man, to stay alive. You know how they say, it's a jungle out there, I wonder how I keep from going under. Straight up, and our neighborhood, straight up, y'all. Brother and sister just died last night. Our neighborhood, most likely, we got more people dying in our neighborhoods from us. Why? From the battle. That's raging in our neighborhoods. Why? Because we've forsaken the law, and the Lord has poured out his anger, and the strength of battle, go ahead.
And it had set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart.
See, and we don't lay this stuff to heart. But we want that Gucci bag. We want our hair done. We want our nails. We want our haircut. We lay all this carnal stuff to heart. But about why God is doing this, and we ask the question, why us? We don't go seek God's word to get the answer. So we giving you the answer, y'all, out this book. We ain't revealing nothing that's secret. It just, if you read, like the Lord said, we can read it. Blessed is he that read it. And this is what we do. As a matter of fact, let's go there. Revelations 1. Revelations 1 and 1. Revelations 1 and 3. Because when we not reading, we cursing ourselves. And we're going to find out that what the black neighborhood's been hit with, but everybody else is the curses. We're going to go there, y'all. This we can actually do like a 3-part on the curses alone, y'all. Just to go all the way down through history. That's why we got behind us a timeline. We can walk all the way back from the time the Lord brought our forefathers out of Egypt. Revelations 1 and verse 3. Because they don't lay it to heart. What we read is not being laid to heart. But when you read, look what the Lord said. Revelations 1 and 3. Read.
Blessed is he that readeth.
Look, blessed is he that readeth. So what happens if you don't read? You are doing what to yourself? Cursing yourself. This is the money I came into the world on. Because I was blessed when I read and I saw what I saw, and it is what it is, and I know that it is. I'm like, bro, are you serious? Dude, I was in the coma for this whole month when I first came in the Word. Couldn't nobody talk to me, because every time I came in from work, from my little $3 an hour job, might as well have been $3 by the time they taxed the crap out of me. I was like, why aren't we talking about this stuff? Why aren't we reading this stuff? Why us? Because we don't read that, for we are cursed. And the book just said, blessed is he that readeth. And we want to bless every one of us, every one of you out there. Blessed is he that read. Believe what you read out this book. Because the Lord, God ain't lying, y'all. You think he? Check your situation. You got somebody in jail, know somebody in jail, on the way to jail, you been in jail, you been through the jail, harassed by the police over petty stuff. I'm like, what? Honey, they had 5 cops come on you because your headlights wasn't, and it was like dusk. Like, 5 cops for you. Really? And yeah, she was shaking up. I'm like, dude, I'm like, honey. No, and it's going to hit all of us, whether you're in the Word or not. It's just that those of us that read the Word, we are blessed to know that these things happen. Because God said so. So now let's do ourselves a favor. Now, we talked about what's present right now. Now let's go to history by going to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy 28. And man, look. Now remember, the 13th Amendment was to forbid, there should no longer be what in America, y'all?
Slavery.
So let me say that again.
Slavery.
Let me hear it one more time. Slavery. Watch this. When I got hit with this for Black History Month, it was over. I was like, dude, I'm not going back in no church that ain't teaching this book. Period. I'm like, get done, son. I'm out. My mother looked at me like I was like, what happened to you? And my brother was a Sunday school teacher at the time. I looked at him like, dude, you ain't even got a clue. You so far off, dude. Dude, you done. You done. I'm just gonna learn this book, so when I come back to you, I'm gonna show you just how done you is. Cause when I was done, I was in a coma. This Black History Month hit me so hard. Man, look, every day that I came straight in, y'all. I didn't even eat. Maybe I drank some water, but when I ate, it was like, I got in from work maybe like 5 o'clock. I had to come out to eat something till 11:30 at night. They were like, man, why you passing up them pork chops? Man, why you ain't eating your pork rinds? Man, why you ain't eating the hamburger? Why you ain't going to McDonald's with us? Why, mama fixed this and mama fixed that? And they wasn't there. Everybody literally disappeared to me because I was like, do you guys have, no, you don't have any idea the magnitude of how ignorant I am, and I know how ignorant you guys are. So I was blown away completely. Especially when I read this, it was over. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. This is a favorite one, and you even got the Gentiles writing their little corrupt the Bibles. We deal with the KJV, defending the KJV, and they want to turn around and say, see, black people like to go ahead and say this, them. This is us, so you have to go and make you a book so you can go counter to reality. But see, I don't blame them for that. That's our fault. But we get into that when we get to the insurrection and the resurrection of Israel. That's coming up in this series. But let's read this, y'all. When the brother showed me this, I was done. Right here, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way of way whereof I spake unto thee.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt sin no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And we're going to find out, after we go to this part, our enemies was Esau. The Edomites owned the slave ships. You're going to get that, but I'm going to point something out, y'all. On this post. Anybody got a dollar bill in their pocket, you take it out. On the back of a US dollar bill, you have a pyramid, an Egyptian pyramid, y'all, representing America. Then we get sold here, y'all. Oh, we got more for that. But that's on the back of a dollar, Egypt. Number 2. Look what it said right here. This is pulled up. You can look it up, Google it. To be sold on board ships. Negroes. This is book. I was like, I read and I see it and I saw it. Y'all know Rooks, Amistad. Oh, there's a whole litany of black slave ship movies, y'all. But this book said sold to Egypt. And to us, this is Egypt. We are in captivity, y'all. That's why the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's why the Feast of Unleavened Bread is so important. To be sold on board ships. Negroes sold on board. That's Deuteronomy 28 all day long. We're going to read this. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Wait a minute. We know he's talking slaves. We're talking what they call African Americans. But some of these scriptures, I just want to just point this out. That's why the Lord said, I know the blasphemers, they will say they are Jews and are not. Because all this stuff happened to Israel. Right here, Ezekiel. The same pants that they're wearing here. It's the same pants that we had when we was in Egypt. Y'all see that? The same that was found on the Egyptian pyramid. Look at the garbs. So that's how we know we went into Egypt again by what? Ships. So now, let's do ourselves a favor. And what we're going to do is, we're going to go to, I'm going to go to, in further entrench this is, show you how we were sold into our enemies. I want to read about the owners of the slave ships. Because who brought the slaves to America is very important, y'all, to examine. Okay? Now, make sure I have page 1 of this. This is historical fact, y'all. Historical fact. This article is entitled, Who Brought Slaves to America? And the Jewish Role in the transatlantic slave trade. The Jewish role. Wait a minute. The Jew's supposed to be in, he's supposed to be in the slave ship, not owning the slave ships, y'all. Okay?
Good point.
Now it said the story of slaves in America began with Christopher Columbus. His voyage to America was not financed by Queen Isabella, but by Louis D. Santiago, who advanced the sum of 17,000 ducats, that's $5,000 equivalent to today, to finance the voyage, which began on August the 3rd. Now, Christopher Columbus was accompanied by 5 Jews who had forsworn their religion and supposedly became Catholic. Louis D. Torres interpreted Marco, the surgeon, Barnell, the physician, Alonzo D. Calais, and Gabriel Sanchez. Now, Gabriel Sanchez, abetted by the other 4 Jews, sold Columbus on the idea of capturing 500 Indians and selling them as slaves. See, the Jewish people were into selling slaves. That's why the Lord said, you should be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women. Now, we're talking back then, y'all, okay? This is history. Let me skip down to show, matter of fact, I want to bring this up. These slave ships were owned, y'all, by Jewish merchants. Let me, bring this article to bear. Because we can, yeah, here we go. In fact, listen to this, y'all. 70% of the slave owners in America were Jewish. And the slave trade was controlled by the Jews, like they control now. They control the media, communications, all these things. So what you see now, they've been used to being in control of commodities. And who do you think the commodities were? Okay? We were the commodity, y'all. Now listen to some of the names of these ships, y'all. The Abigail was owned by Aaron Lopez, Moses Levy, and Jacob Franks. The slave ship Crown was owned by Isaac Levy and Nathan Simpson. The slave ship Nesau and 4 Sisters were owned by Moses Levy. The slave ship called Anna and Eliza was owned by Justice Bosch and John Abrams. The slave ship Prudent Betty was owned by Henry Kruger and Jacob Phoenix. The slave ship Hester was owned by a Jew named Mordecai and David Gomez. Oh, they also owned a slave ship called Elizabeth. The slave ship Antigua was owned by Nathan Marston and Abram Lygale. The Betsy was owned by W.M.D. Wolfe. And the pilot was owned by James D. Wolfe. And the slave ship called the White Horse was owned by Jan D. Sweetens. The Expedition slave ship was owned by John and Jacob Roosevelt. The Charlotte slave ship was owned by Caracoa, rather. These are 2 slave ships. Was owned by Moses and Sam Levy. But this guy named Jacob Franks, he was proud owner of the Charlotte slave ship. All these are Jewish slave ship owners. Jewish slave ship owners, y'all. That's why I said you should be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you. Because God is the one. Did we finish that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's do ourselves a favor and let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel 3 and 1. Joel 3 and verse 1. This is what's in front of us, y'all. This is why we're talking about slavery. This is why you want to talk about slavery. Because guess what? God is going to bring us out of this, y'all. It ain't going to be about flesh and blood that's going to deal with, man, look. Watch what the book says. Joel 3 and 1. Read.
For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Now, why is the Lord saying Judah and Jerusalem? Let me give you this information. This source of this information is the World Christian Trends, AD 300 through 2000. Interpreting the Annual Christian Trends by David B. Barrett, and Todd M. Johnson. 70 AD, the status of Jerusalem. One generation after Christ, the world is 0.1% Christian, but of these Christians, 85% of those Christians were black in Jerusalem. 15% white, and 15 were, the world was 15% evangelized, with the scriptures at that time being translated into 5 languages, y'all. 5 languages. Now watch this. The destruction of Jerusalem by Titus with 4 legions took 600,000, killed 600,000 in Judea, and 10,000 Jews were crucified, and 90,000 Jews to Rome as slaves. We're going to read this. And Jews and the Hebrew Christians were scattered abroad, and the destruction of Hebrew Christianity, y'all, and the end of the Christian Jew. Okay? And after the fall of Jerusalem, Antioch becomes the Christian center of the eastern half of the Roman Empire. So watch what happened though. Back to the book, Joel 3 and 2. Read.
I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Wait a minute, so we've been scattered among the nations, y'all, and the land has been parted. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine.
Wait a minute, what that sound like, y'all? 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 cents for that little nigga girl. Who got it? 30, 30, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. Y'all know that wasn't talking about no white folks getting big for like that. Read that one more time.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine.
We was merchandise. That's why they had to do the 13th Amendment, y'all.
Right.
Bear witness that this is talking about people of color. This is talking about us. This condition, y'all. Go ahead.
That they might drink. Yeah. Verse 4. Yeah. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye, verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Yes, sir.
Verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Man, we so far from our border, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all how far we are from our border. Know how many names they got for us, y'all? Matter of fact, let's go to for the name thing. Let's go. Let's hold that spot. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. 28 and 15. We so far from our border, y'all. I'm about to knock your socks off. You finna, I still to this day, it is utterly amazing how many names they got on us. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 28 and 37. Read.
28:37.
Yeah, 28 and 37.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Now look, the Lord said this is what he's going to do to his people, and we were scattered to all nations, right, y'all? Now watch this. Let me do a little comparison thing here. Now, this is the people, what they call, people they call the Jews. This is the name that they call the Jews, y'all. This is a list of names that they call the people they call Jews. You know, Bago Dog, Beanie, Big Nose, Cashew, Christ Killer, Dead Sea Pedestrian, Dial, Firewood, 4x2, Gate Master, German, Ovenment. Let me get to some of the popular ones. Hook Nose, Heine, Jew Bag, K's are nickel nose, penny chasers, self-chosen, shysters, okay, and yentas, right? This is what they call, these are the names that Jews, what they call Jews don't like, right, y'all? Okay, you see that? This is 43. Drum roll, please. This is the list of names they got for us. I stopped hanging this up on the wall, y'all. I was like, I'm like, huh? Really? Do y'all see this? Yeah, it's so far down there, y'all. I can't even show you the rest of the names. So I was blown away. I pulled this out of the ACLU list of when they go slanders and names, y'all. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, dude. Okay, y'all, hold up. I was like, dude. This is, they have 42 for what they call a Jew. No, 43. For us, $182, y'all. And these boys got 43 names. Are you serious? I was like, the paper's on the floor, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Y'all do know that. Child, please, I ain't get out. Oh my God. Yeah. I'll read a couple, just a couple, y'all. I'm just, this is way under. 182. Okay, y'all. There's a few. Boogeyman, boot lips, brittle pads. I know some of these is funny. I'm like, dang. Bumper lips. I'm just in the bees, y'all. Burnt crackers, burnt match, burnt toast, burrheads, bush boogie, butters, Canadians, black, cargo, case of boo-boo, chocolate drops, coal miners, cocos, cocolo, colored folks. Oh, I didn't tell y'all that was on there, right? You knew that was on there. Anyway, Congos, Kunkies, Coons, Cordons, cornbread, Corneliuses. You like cornbread, Corneliuses? Cracker, crawls, crickets, crime. They call us crime, y'all. Crime, the high crime rate. Why? The high crime rate amongst blacks. Dan, darkies, dingies, double A's, eggplants, eraser heads. February because of Black History Month. Look at them febs. Oh. Fall N-word, GG. Shortened for gangster or old gangster, used as a greeting between gang members. Guards. G-cheese, ghetto, meaning used to describe black urban ebonics, as can be used on anyone who speaks in such a manner, like ghetto talk. I heard that. Oh my God, I'm just on G, y'all. Groids, homies, horse guns, hotels, hot knots, house N-word, okay, JJ, jackamonkeys, jar jars, jigaboos, Jim, junior mints, jungle bunnies, I'm on K's, K-First, K-La, KFC, because we love chicken so much. Anyway, Kingfish, oh my God, knuckle draggers, because they believe black people had longer arms than other races, and therefore their knuckles would drag. Kujins, Japanese term for blacks, kunta kinte, lawn jockey. Wow. So if they would call us porch monkeys, they would call us lawn jockeys. Lincoln's an estate, Lucius, Mandingos, Mendinkas, Mangrove or monkeys, Mayatas, Hispanic term for N-word, Melanoids, Midnights, monkeys, monkey boys, Mulachis, mud ducks. Dag y'all, I'm just down to 117. Anyway, and I can't put this on the website. This would be too long, y'all. I'd be like, dude, look. Anyway, spades. I mean, I'm just okay. I got no, the rest of this one. Yeah. Anyway, yo-yos. Y'all know why? Especially back in the days of slavery, yo-yos. Who y'all think they had hanging off the trees? Yard apes, Uncle Toms, blacks who sucked up to white people in reference to the movie Uncle Tom character in the 1852 and in the 1852 book Uncle Tom's Cabin. Oh man, subhuman, strange fruit, stove lids, spoons. And what that script say, read that script again, we should be a byword and a what? A byword and a what?
And that shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So now let's go back to Joel, y'all. 3rd chapter. OMG. Now remember we read about they're going to take his good things to the temples, right? Watch this, y'all. Let's go to Zechariah. My bad. Zechariah 11 and 4. Zechariah 11 and 4. Then we're going to go back to Joel. Zechariah 11 chapter and verse 4. Read.
Thus said the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
Oh, the flock of the slaughter. I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie called Uncle Tom's Cabin or Goodbye Uncle Tom. Oh man. I thank God I had Jesus when I saw that movie. Because if I hadn't had Jesus in my heart straight up, period. Oh man. Woo! Feed the flock of the slaughter. Do you have any idea how many of us died crossing the Atlantic? It is actually proven fact that so many of us died in the Atlantic crossing to get over here, y'all. That it was, sharks were just out there waiting. It was like a bloodbath. And we have, I mean, compared to what they call a Holocaust. Sorry, I shouldn't even have mentioned that. Anyway, next. Dude, just crossing the Atlantic, millions and millions and millions of us died in the slaughter. Crossing. The shark was just waiting. It was, they just followed the ship. They knew dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner was coming. Anyway. But look, verse 5.
Verse 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
No! Not guilty. Anyway. And every time we get, nowadays we like, if the police get, we like, yes! It's Christmas. Anyway. Why? Because this is talking about the possessors, they slay us, say they hold themselves what? Now guilty, and then let's see what other components are part of this. Go ahead.
Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
No, it said blessed, they said, and they that sells and say, blessed be the Lord. Who are we talking about? Religion at that time, dude. Especially these guys right here. These guys were in charge of the religion of that day. This is just some of the founding fathers of this modern day religion. That's why they don't want to go. That's why they don't want to go and have you looking at this stuff. Cause you be like, wait a minute, how did y'all saying y'all? Wait a minute, they saying blessed be the Lord. So what religion was it that was established back then? Hmm. For I am what? Go ahead. Read that one more time. It said, blessed be the Lord.
Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
And their own shepherds pity them. No wonder we destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And we reading straight, plain books. Plain, and we talking about stuff that does not need an interpretation. I could have just pointed it out and just said, who you think they're talking about? And you would have knew it was talking about us. Without no major degrees, no major, all you have to do to have a little comprehension of or understand what's going on in our community and the history of our community. That's why we're doing this, doing Black History Month. So now let's go there back to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel 3, and watch this, y'all. Verse 6. No, sorry, verse 7. Joel 3 and 7. Read.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Now hold on, y'all. He said, I'm going to raise them out of the place whither you have what? Sold them. Did the Japanese get sold over here? Vietnamese, Greeks, Mexicans, Hispanics. They migrated over here, y'all. How you think our forefathers got over here? Let me flip this around. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. In chains. All the slave ships. Brought over here. In chains, y'all. Look at this. They put us inward in chains. Ezekiel 19:9. That voice should no more be heard upon the holy mountain, the mountain of what? Israel. Look at that. There go that pyramid. Break out the U. See it on the back of a US dollar bill. Look at this. Slaves exhibited for what? For sale. Who you think was doing the selling? Okay? Look at this. Again, look how they garbed right here. Same garb that's on the Egyptian pyramid walls that our forefathers wore. Same, y'all. But look, let's go to, we did that Joel. Here's what I want to do. Let's go to Jeremiah 12 and 9. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to Deuteronomy. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading my scripture wrong. Because there's so much to cover here. Let's go to Daniel's 9th chapter. Because what's been poured out, the Lord said before Moses, he said, look, in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, if we obey the Lord's voice, he was going to bless us. If we didn't obey the Lord's voice, he was going to curse us. Matter of fact, before we go there, let's actually read that. Hold that Daniel, and let's go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter at the top. That one already. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. This is the ID card chapter for us, y'all. I'm looking at my time, but we're gonna get through this. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. Read.
And it shall come to pass, excuse me. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And excuse me. Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, and thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So there's a lot of good things the Lord went into. Let's get all the way down to verse 50. And he gave our forefathers a condition. If you hearken, I'm going to bless you. If you don't hearken, this is going to happen. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee, and overtake thee. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Yes, sir.
Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
Now, what I want to do is skip down to, now let's go to Daniel, because I'm going to show you the Lord poured out these curses. Now let's go to Daniel 9 and 3. Then we're going to come back, hold that spot in Deuteronomy. Because we're going to show you that we did not obey. We're going to let the book tell you. Our forefathers did not obey. Therefore, this curse is poured out. You got people that think we got a choice with this Deuteronomy 28:10. No, the Lord put it, and it was a condition based on what our forefathers did. That's why it is what it is, y'all. It's been set in stone, and watch what the Lord has written right here. Deuteronomy 9 and verse. We're going to go right to the point. Deuteronomy 9 and 10. Read.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets.
So Daniel knew our forefathers didn't obey. Therefore, what happened? Go ahead.
Verse 11. Yeah, all Israel had transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
So what got poured out in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, y'all? The curse. That's why slavery had to be. That's why. Oh, keep going.
Verse 12. And he has confirmed his word.
Oh, he had confirmed his word. So he confirmed the curses. That's why all the stuff that went out, I mean, we can whine and complain about it now, y'all. But it's been confirmed. He's confirmed his word. That's why we go through what we go through, and why we're going through what we've been going through. Because he done confirmed his words, which he spake. Go ahead.
Which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
That's how we stick out like a sore thumb, y'all. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28, and I want to point out one of these curses. Just a quick hit. This is a whole lot. I mean, man, this could go over here. But we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. So we read the curse been poured out. He done confirmed his word. That's why we whining and crying and crying and whining. And the only hope you got coming up out of that now is come under the commandments of God and get that mercy and be blessed is he that what? Readeth. Because as long as you're not reading, you're going to be under these curses. And one of them that's like a big, like how is this one, Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Watch this.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of honor upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Watch this, y'all. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. and 48. There go the picture. The curse is poured out. He did this to our forefathers. Flat out. Flat out, y'all. Flat out. So now let's go to Luke. I want to go to Luke. Man. Let's go go to Luke 19 chapter, right? 21, right? Luke 21 and 20. Because this is just a consummation of what our forefathers did in disobeying. And this is what happened. We'll take it all the way down to where we at to this day. Because our forefathers would not obey. We kicking the law in the garbage can. Don't want to hear no law on the days that most of us in church on. We want to hear no law. All we want to hear is, we want to hear that. We don't want to hear no bug. Luke 21 and 20. Yeah, praise the Lord, but we read where it said praise Him with understanding too. Understanding why you in this mess we in. Why we get like this? Because we would not obey the voice of our God. And watch this. Luke 21 and 20. That's why we had to deal with the good things in our first discussion for this month. We got some more stuff coming up. When you look at all the bad stuff that's with Israel, you be like, man, look. Talk about depression and anxiety issues. Whew. Right here. Luke 21 and 19. 21 and 20, sorry. Luke 21 and 20. Read.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is not.
Now this talking about black folks, y'all. He was talking about black folks. When you see Jerusalem compassed about with armies, know that the desolation thereof is not. We read that. It's a historical fact, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are
vengeance. The Lord got vengeance? Yes. He's got vengeance. And he said that all things which are what?
Written may be fulfilled.
No wonder this happened. No wonder that happened. Okay? Because it's all going to be fulfilled, and Israel is fulfilling it, y'all. We're going to get to the good parts, the real good parts. But we have to show you the conditions that are upon us and the reason why they are upon us. But go ahead. Read.
Verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
That's talking about that 70 AD time period. Go ahead.
For there should be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Yeah, no, and wrath upon this people, y'all. Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Oh, until the times of the what be fulfilled? The times of the Gentiles. So we ain't going back until the times of the Europeans, them your Gentiles. Got a lesson on that. Clearly, it's talking about the Gentiles. Until their time is up. Their time is almost up now. It's almost now. Almost. Not quite. We living in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. He ain't ran that fire down from heaven yet. But this is talking about the time when you had 600,000 killed in Jerusalem. Well, we got that count, so it's a horrific story. But the Lord wasn't playing, and he said we're going to fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now let's go and, no, keep going. Let's see how long this is going to be. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
So this is who's going to redeem us out of this, y'all. So how long we going to be in this until you see the men's hearts are failing and shaken for fear now. But then he said, when you shall see the powers of the heavens shaken. It's time. We getting close, y'all. Israel getting rattled and shook up and woke up. But look what the Lord called right here. Let's go to Isaiah 9 and 13. We want to blame everybody else but the Lord. Let's go to Isaiah 9 and verse 13. If you want to blame anybody, blame our forefathers for not being obedient to God's word, and you become obedient to God's word. So you don't further the affliction, further the curses in your life. Isaiah 9 and verse 13. Isaiah 9 and 13. Read.
For the people turned not unto him that smiteth them, neither do they seek the Lord of hosts.
Then we read, the Lord poured out this anger. We ain't turning to the God of this book. The God that put these words in this Bible and said, I'm going to send you into the old slave ship. We're not turning to the God that said, I'm going to do this to your forefathers, man. We ain't turning to him. It said, we turn not to him that smited us, neither do we seek the Lord. Therefore what?
Therefore the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day.
Yes, sir.
Verse 15, the ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teaches lies, he is the tail.
See, the one that deal with the old stuff and show you what thus said the Lord out this book, it said, he is the head, and the prophet that teaches what? Lies. He is the what? The tail. So who you think the people going after all day tomorrow? Guys like us, man, we ain't no good. But the Lord said we the head. Why? Because we leading the people back to him that do smite us right now. We try to turn you to the one that's smiting us, y'all. But they not. The one that teaches the lies, he is the tail. Go ahead.
Verse 16, for the leaders of this people caused them to err.
See, the leaders of our people, because guys like me, we don't be jack. We in the corner. No, the leaders of this people cause them to what? Err. Go ahead.
And they that are led of them are destroyed.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Verse 17, therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men.
On the one day that guy can't, he only did 2 capital punishment, but he can't get no parole. And they put him on death penalty. But that Gentile, him did 10 killings, 13 attempted murders, and he's eligible for parole. Why? Because we are the children of Israel, the conditions, y'all. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men. Go ahead. Neither have mercy on their fatherless and their widows. Go ahead.
For everyone is an hypocrite.
We got churches all over the neighborhood. We show up in these churches, y'all. We looking all godly and all. We most prayerful. I read the statistics. Oh, we want to say we read, blah, all of the religious stuff. But he said, but everyone is a what? Hypocrite. Go ahead.
And an evildoer.
And an evildoer. Go ahead.
And every mouth speaketh folly.
Yes,
sir. For all this, his anger is not turned away. But his hand is stretched out still.
But his hand is stretched out still. That's what we got to understand. When you got to turn to the one that's smiting us, not the one that want to color you, oh, Jesus loved you, and you just do whatever and throw your pork chops and all. That's why we in trouble, y'all. Remember, he said the prophet that teaches lies, he is the tail. And so far, this is the truth, y'all. So we ain't teaching lies here. I mean, as the book say, come now and let us reason together, brothers and sisters. The reason why we in the condition we in is because we turn not to him that smiteth us. Matter of fact, let's go to Revelations 2 and 9. This is what Jesus said. Revelations 2 and 9. Read.
I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Wait, he said, I know your works and your tribulation. Jesus knows what we're going through, y'all. That's why he said, but his hand is still stretched out. What? Still He still has ministries like us that's trying to turn the people to him and smite us so that we can come up from under the beatings and the continual lies and the continual sorrows that our ignorance and our zeal for God but not according to knowledge is actually creating, y'all. Praise the Lord, and you still doing what our forefathers doing, only angers him. That's why he said, I know your works and your tribulation and poverty. Now, I want to look this up, y'all. Research this. This come out of the American Census Bureau. This is 2016, y'all. Now, this is talking about black and Latino poverty rates were much higher. Now look, remember, they got a country. Us, way high with the poverty rate, y'all. He said, I know your poverty. Matter of fact, I even, let me see if I can put this little tidbit. Statistic on I went and looked up the 7 richest powerful ethnic groups in America. Number 1, and number 7 rather, is Russia. Guess who at number 1, y'all? The Indian America, as in India. They are the number 1 richest household in America at $101,390 median household income, and this is as of, and it went up from then. From 2015, they was holding the number 1 spot. Right behind that is the Jewish American at $97,000 a year. $97,000 held second place on the list as the richest and most powerful ethnic group in America, as well as considering the fact that many Jews believe that being a Jew actually relates to ancestry and not religion. According to this study, it is no secret that 11% of the world's billionaires are what they call Jews. So guess what? These ain't the real Jews. You know what the real Jews look like? The real Jews isn't whole slave ships. The real Jews got a paycheck to paycheck wheat profit. Straight up. Anyway. Oh. Moving right along, y'all. Let's go to 3 and 9. No, I wouldn't say that for later because I got a special for that. I'm going to keep it pushing. So look, let's do a separate favor. We're almost done here. Let's go to Leviticus 26 and yeah, we're doing that time. Leviticus 26 chapter. And verse 2. This is what he told our forefathers. And this thing go way beyond when we was in the wilderness, even to this day. Leviticus 26 and 2. Read.
You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them.
Now notice, here we go, conditions. See, we have a condition, God, y'all. If you do this, he gonna do that. And if you don't do this, what he said, then he gonna do what he said. Either way, God gonna do what he said. It all depends on what you do. That's why faith without works is dead. And the Lord look at what we do. And that's why he said, if you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, go ahead.
Verse 4, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
So our neighborhoods, well, there's a flock of Jews that should be beautiful. Man, look. When I was raised up, I used to hard grass, hard dirt, mud. Well, man, we used to try to grow grass. I said, try to grow grass. Anyway, dang. But look, let's skip all the way down to verse 14.
But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you.
Now hold on. I never forget when I found out in Black History Month that we were the children of Israel, and I decided to walk away from from the Sunday church. I found out that everyone around, well, I put it like this. I found out that the majority of the people that I knew that was close to me didn't even like the Bible. I'm like, huh? You don't like the Bible? Look, I'm preaching God's word. Are we learning about that? Let me show you guys, man. Don't you know that Bible? That's so prevalent in our neighborhood. Man, you believe that Bible? You got to go get these new Bibles, because them old Bibles, that's all, you know. Look, he said, if you despise my statutes, if your soul abhor my judgment, where do you think we find the judgments of the Lord at? Like I showed brother last night. Hey, man, I'm showing you bug. This ain't me, this is the Lord. So that you would not, he said, if you would not do by all my commandments, but that you break my covenants, I will also do this unto you. Go ahead.
I will even appoint over you terror.
Child, please. And I'm a living witness. I survived a terror. Man. And some of y'all, hey, we got terror always in our neighborhood, child, please. He said, I will appoint over you what? Terror. Go ahead.
Consumption and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
Now look, let's skip down because I'm looking at my time. Skip all the way down to verse 21.
Verse 21, and if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sin.
No wonder the Lord increase. No wonder we have more of. Even when it's getting a little bit better, we still got the more side. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Even it may get a little bit better, but why are we still the worst? Why we got more problems than, why everybody getting better, but we getting, it's like, why? It's because of what we just read. I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. So let's skip down to verse 27. Read.
And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me.
See, the Lord got a lot of stuff in this book, and if you ain't reading this book, and he said, if you would not for all this, would not hearken to me, but walk contrary unto me, go ahead.
But walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you, also in fury, and even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sin.
Woo! Go ahead.
Verse 29, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat.
Now look, let's skip down to verse 33. Actually, keep on.
Verse 30, and I will destroy your high places and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
Oh, you didn't know God had a soul, huh? There's a spiritual soul and there's a physical soul, y'all. Okay, God's body is a soul and our body is a soul. But he said, I'm gonna cast your carcasses upon your idols and destroy your high places. That's what happened to us in 70 AD. And I'll make those cities a waste. Go ahead.
And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
Mm-hmm.
And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you. And your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
Yes, sir.
Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath.
So now we're supposed to be in our enemies. We are in our enemy's land by virtue of slavery, y'all. And we got to be there until he come back and bring us out. So who in the land? Oh, we going to get there too. Yeah, that's a part of this series too. But look, let's skip down all the way down to verse 39. Read.
And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity, and in your enemies' land, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. And if they shall confess their iniquity.
If we got so that's why we got to find out who we come from, where we come from. Cause if we confess the iniquities of our what? If they shall confess their iniquities, go ahead.
And the iniquity of their fathers.
Oh, we got to confess the iniquities of our fathers. That's why we have to know why we Israel. You got to know what kind of iniquities to confess. The iniquities of our forefathers. Go ahead.
With their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me. Verse 41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Yes, sir.
And if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Also, this is a part of the answer to why this stuff is happening to us. Because the Lord said, if then their uncircumcised heart be what? Humble. So this is some of the solution. That we humble our hearts. Not only do we find our identity, but we humble our heart, uncircumcised hearts be humble, and we accept other punishment of our iniquity, forefathers' iniquities, their iniquities. Go ahead.
Verse 42, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. Verse 43, the land also shall be blessed of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Yes.
Because they despise my judgments, because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord their God.
Now let's go see who this was talking, y'all. Let's go all the way to St. John 5 and 47. I'm going to end it here. St. John 5 and 47. Let's see who's talking. But we just got through coming out of Moses' writings. That's the book of Leviticus. We read in Deuteronomy. All the writings of Moses. Watch this. Read.
St. John
5 and 46. Sorry, 46.
For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me.
Wait, who's talking? Jesus, is it? So, had ye believed Moses, you would have believed me. Go ahead.
For he wrote of me.
Oh, so that's from Jesus was talking? Go ahead.
Verse 47. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words?
But if you don't believe the writings of Moses, Jesus don't mean jack to you. That's why we are in the situation we're in. But what if we do believe the writings of Moses? Then we're going to humble our hearts. We're going to turn to him that smited us. We're going to wake up. We're going to get our identity. We're going to understand and confess the sins of our what? Forefathers. As a matter of fact, go back to Leviticus. I got to go ahead. Because it does talk about our ancestors. In the same 26th chapter. I'm sorry. I got to read this. 26 and... You talking about our ancestors. We got to deal with our ancestry, y'all. You don't deal with your ancestry, we gonna get this, y'all. We gonna read this one right here. Our ancestors. That's 26:45. Leviticus 26 and 45. Because he said, yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them. This is Jesus talking to us, to destroy them utterly, to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. Verse 45.
But I will for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Oh, but for whose sake? Our sake. Remember the covenant of their who? Ancestors. Which means we have to identify with our forefathers as being the children of Israel to even accomplish this. We must. That's what he just said. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors. Go ahead.
Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. And I am the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
So if he wrote that by the hand of Moses, who was that talking to? It was Jesus. So I hope you understand why us, because we turn it not to him that smited us, because we not acknowledging who our ancestors are, and we have to confess as a solution to our problems, the iniquities of our fathers and our forefathers, and turn from walking contrary as they walked contrary to God, y'all. Okay? So I hope you got some understanding about this part too. Why us? And we got our special coming up. We're going to be dealing with the Islamic factor in our black history, because that's a part of the problem now. We don't get up into Muslims and all of that. No, we're going to deal with that in our next Black History discussion coming up this week. Okay? So with that being said, I hope you got some understanding.